this week on the Great British Sewing Bee, it was Mexico week, and I love the traditional Mexican frill ruffle dresses and loads of fabric and loads of movement. So I had to do this week because this is so my thing. So yeah, I am hoping to make something with a lot of ruffles. I've actually got loads on this week, or have had loads on this week, and have loads on next week. So I've had no time to massively think this through. But I've got a rough-ish idea, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens, because how else do you learn? This week, the final challenge was to have 5 hours to make a Mexican festival outfit or costume. So you had to pick a Mexican festival and then make something fitting of that festival. So I've decided that I am picking Day of the Dead because, I mean, why do we not have that in this country? Is that like the best thing ever? So I'm picking Day of the Dead, and this isn't necessarily the fabric that I would have liked to have chosen. I would have liked something a bit more black, red, yellow type fabric, but I am still on a mission not to spend a fortune on fabric when I am doing these makes. So I have found a duvet cover which has the skulls on it. It would be better if these were roses and not bows, but we're going with bows, and it has the skulls on it. And then the reverse side of the duvet cover has the pink skulls in black. So I thought these two would go really well together to make a dress with two different patterns, but tone in the exact right pink. So it's not definitely the fabric I would have bought, but in terms of like a duvet cover, it's going to be perfect. My basic plan is to make a circle skirt and then in like a plain black, and then put this round the bottom as like a massive ruffle, and then make a bodice out of this and put this or the black, I'm not sure, probably this, around the top ruffle, which sounds quite simple, but the thing is that it's meters and meters of hem. It's going to be the hem. I'm going to overlock the hem in black, but it's going to be the hem that's I work with my mum, and my mum is paraplegic, so we have to have room for her wheelchair in here. She makes in here. She's not making here at the moment, but there normally needs to be space for her wheelchair in here, so we can't have that, and a cutting table. So I have to cut out in the conservatory. The conservatory is so hot that I hardly ever film in there. I film like little tiny bits of me cutting, because then basically my phone overheats and I overheat. So I have done my cutting out. I have got a circle skirt. So now I'm working on putting the bodice together. And then once I put the bodice together, I've cut out the frill for the bottom of the skirt, and I'm going to start putting the frill on, which is a mammoth task because it just goes on and on and on. But I want to get the bodice together first, make sure the bodice fits, and then see what we can do about how deep to put a frill on the bodice. I think I've mathed wrong, which isn't that unusual for me. I think I have cut only half of what I need. I think I need double the amount I thought I needed. So I think that what I've got now is only going to get halfway around my circle skirt, because the bottom of my skirt is obviously somewhat bigger than I thought it was, to go all the way around the bottom of a circle skirt. So I think I'm going to have to go back into the hot box of a conservatory and cut out 2 more frills. I'm going to sew the bodice together. So just sew down all of these seams. This is where I fully regret doing a circle and wish I'd just done ruffles around a more straight skirt. But circle skirts are just something I am super familiar with. So I thought, oh, circle skirt, that'll be easy. But then you just forget how much hemline there is to a circle skirt. So I think I'm going to be here putting this frill on for a long time. I've now got to get this, the circle skirt, to get this frill round the bottom of the circle skirt. Look how much there is. It's never ending. This is going to take me forever. I'm going to try and gather as I go instead of like gathering and then trying to get it on the skirt. This is where you like flatbed industrial machines come in really handy, because it's just taking me 10 minutes to figure out where to start sewing, just because everything's in such a tangle and I'm still not 100% sure I'm right. My biggest fear, and I've checked it about 6 times, but my biggest fear is that I'm going to sew all this on, turn it the right way around, the fabric's going to be upside down. This is going to take forever. I know that there are all sorts of hacks online about doing pleats and using a fork and all these different things. But to be totally honest with you, when there's this amount of fabric, just, I don't know. There's no way of kind of doing it quickly other than like a ruffling foot, but I've never used that before, so I wouldn't know how to do that. It's just a case of like ruffle and sew and hope that you can sort of speed up as you go. But because there's this amount of fabric and because I don't have a flat band, then you have to keep lining it up and making sure the two pieces of fabric are okay, and then sew a bit and then line it up and then sew a bit and then line it up. So yeah, this is a very long and tedious process. It's been about 20 minutes and I have just passed the halfway point. So I need to put my foot down, literally. The pillowcase folds over. So I'm taking it because I want to use, I've made the bodice out of the back of the pillowcase, which is like the black fabric. And I want to use this pink that I've got the frill around the bottom of the skirt to put a frill around the top of the bodice. But it's not quite long enough. But if I unpick this, then it will be. Ooh. It's 2 inches too short. Now I'm going to switch to my overlocker, where I need to do meters and meters of hemming. So my overlocker is not happy. So it's going fine for a bit, and then something's happened that's eaten it, that is now making it. Yeah, we're not stitching. We're not stitching. Oh my god. What is going on with you? Oh, something's come unthreaded. Why have you come unthreaded? What are you? I think you're red. Are you red? Oh, I can't remember. Right. I'm going to move on to my mum's overlocker because this is going to take me forever. Just had to use mum's overlocker. So mum's overlocker is in the lounge. And I've just had to jump on that because mine unthreaded itself. And threading an overlocker up is probably one of my least favourite jobs in the world, because it just requires more attention span than I normally have. So I just thought, no, I'm just going to jump on Mum's. It will be infinitely easier. That's it. I have done it. 5 hours. Day of the dead dress. It looks better if it had arms in it, because these go around your arms. And also the skirt is my husband. I need it to fit someone so they can spin around in it. It's a spinny skirt, definitely. This skirt is too much fun. I think this one might be my favourite.